Double the amount of cozies, double the amount of mysteries. Double, double, but there won't be any trouble. Welcome or welcome back to Double Reading Vlog at Mr. Francy Reads! Let's go! Yes, hello, and welcome or welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads. I am, of course, Mr. Francy, and I'm truly honoured that you've once again chosen to join me today for this very special event. It is double reading vlog time. Now, the reason why it is a double reading vlog is because we are taking care of 2 weeks worth of reading. That's right. I'm going to have to try and condense everything down. Week 1 into 15 minutes. Week 2 into 15 minutes. Can I do it? Only time will tell. And that's because, of course, naturally we do have the wrap-up that does occur. We have the TBR for April and the wrap-up. So I didn't want to do April TBR, March monthly wrap, reading vlog. So now we have them here, and you have 2 weeks worth in just the one video. So we're going to jump right in. Okay, so this is going to be part 1, and then I'm sure I'll be wearing a different colour t-shirt for part 2, so you'll be able to tell which is which. But part 1 for the reading vlog is covering from the 22nd through to the 28th of March. Part 2 is going to cover from the 29th of March to the 4th of April. Okay, alrighty. So, where we left off, on the 21st of March, I had just finished Resort to Murder and was planning on picking up this book, 50% Off Murder by Josie Bell. I made it maybe 2 chapters in, and I DNF'd. Yeah. It really was a case of an issue with the narration. I listened to my Cozy Mysteries on audiobook while I am crocheting, and the narration really didn't work for me. I had a lot of issues with it. So, please don't take my DNFing for this is not a good book. I didn't make it far enough to know if it actually is. If you're planning to physically read the book, then by all means pick it up and let me know what you think of it. But for me, the audiobook just did not work. I had a lot of, audio issues with it. Like, in certain parts the audio was very low, in certain parts it was very high. Also the actual narrator, whatever you want to call it, I had issues with as well. So it just didn't work for me. So I DNF'd, but I had many other books that I wanted to pick up anyway, so I didn't feel so horrible about DNFing that one. So please take that with a grain of salt as intended. It was an audio DNF, not a physical book DNF. Alright, just be mindful. Alright, so the next book that I picked up is a book that is currently on my SAS list. It is the Country Store Mystery Series, book number 4, which is Biscuits and Slashed Browns by Maddie Day. And as I said, this is book number 4 in the Country Store Mystery Series. The basic setup for this series as a whole is that we follow Jordan. I keep thinking it's Robbie Turner, but that's a drag queen, so I really gotta stop doing that. We follow Robbie Jordan, who runs a country store, which is part country store, part diner, in, South Lick in Indiana. In this particular book, there is a maple festival that occurs at the beginning, and that's all fine, but the following morning, someone who's close to Robbie, I don't remember if they're like a relation to her or a friend or something, but someone who's close to Robbie, tells Robbie that they have seen the, one of the judges was dead, and, we're trying to work out how they died and why they died. It was a little bit of a weird experience for me reading this one, because I don't remember the last time, if I have ever, come across a cozy mystery that I'm trying to solve that's not a cold case, where we don't actually see the body. But we don't see the body at all in this entire book, and so being that I was a very big Pretty Little Liars fan back in the day, I just kept thinking, but we haven't seen the body. What's the bet the reveal is going to be that they never died in the first place? And it just kept distracting me throughout the book. Like, we still haven't seen the body. Why haven't we seen the body? But, no, look, honestly, the cozy side of this series is just absolutely cozy as it can be, and it still was in this book, which I really did appreciate. I did dock a star, I ended up giving it 4 stars, and that is because of the reveal, at the end. It was way too gritty. Now, I don't mind a gritty, cozy mystery, not at all. But if you are going to have a cozy mystery, as in the coziest of levels of the cozy side of a cozy mystery series as a whole, and then that cozy mystery is going to have a gritty reveal, it feels off. It just really threw the tone right off for me. And I did not appreciate it. So, yeah, I docked a star for that. And, yeah, we can also say I docked a star for the fact that we didn't see the dead body. But anyway, it really did get to me. Enough to warrant the star without the gritty ending. But I do still love this series so much. I love Robbie as a character. I love the country store. I think Maddie Day is a brilliant author when it comes to writing extremely cozy mysteries. 4 stars for this one. Next up, I picked up a book that was a new to me series. It is the first book in the A Cupcake Bakery mystery series by Jen McKinley. Book number 1 is called Sprinkle with Murder. We like to sprinkle with murder. Okay, I gave this book, what did I give it? I gave it 4 stars. Well, that is very generous. But there are good reasons. I can always justify why I rate the books the way that I do, but I'll tell you something in a moment as to a reason why I definitely had to deduct a star. Anyway, so the premise of this series is that we follow Melanie Cooper, who runs a cupcake battery. She sure does. Let's try that again. We follow Melanie Cooper, who runs a cupcake bakery, not battery, bakery, with her bestie Angie. Mel and Angie's other bestie, Tate, is their silent partner. The cupcake bakery is called Fairy Tale Cupcakes, and it is set in Scottsdale in Arizona. Alright, so in this particular one, Tate is getting married, and his bride-to-be is the biggest bridezilla I've ever met, let alone a cozy mystery. I mean, I tell you, if Miranda Priestley ever had a daughter, that was this person that Tate was marrying. She was incredibly demanding, incredibly dismissive. To give you an example, Tate had one demand waiver for the wedding of his bride, and that was that she allow Mel and Angie to make their wedding cake, especially because he is so invested in the business. It just makes sense that they would do it that way, so that's totally fine. But this Christy, being the fiance, Christy walks into the fairy tale, what's it called, fairy tale cupcakes, makes sense, walks into Fairy Tale Cupcakes and says, okay, you're going to make me 5 completely new flavors of cupcake that have never existed before. Oh, and by the way, you're now going to sign this contract that states that once you have made them perfected to the way I want it to be perfected, you are not allowed to sell these flavors ever in your store because I will own the rights to those flavors. Are you kidding me? Seriously? Anyway, my biggest gripe with this book was not even that. My biggest gripe with this book is that it is called a cupcake, where are we? Here. A cupcake bakery mystery series, and let me tell you, do you all remember Mr. Francy reading the Nantucket Candle Maker Cozy Mystery Series where next to no candle making actually happens? Well, hello and welcome to the A Cupcake Bakery where next to no cupcake baking happens at all mystery series by Jen McKinley. There was like nothing. Seriously, it was literally a backdrop, and when we finally had an opportunity to see Mel actually create some cupcakes, because remember, as I said, Christy demanded she make the 5 new flavors. The most we got was the following morning. And we got a line that said something like, the following morning I was extremely exhausted because I had been working all night on those new flavors and some fondant icing. And then we move on to whatever the next thing is. We do not see her make these flavors. It was such a golden opportunity, and it was just squashed. In saying that, the mystery was extremely compelling, and I really did appreciate it. So lots of things I can't say because it would be a spoiler, but some of the suspects I found to be incredibly intriguing. Christy works in a fashion world, and the fashion world comes with certain cultures that are very different to what you would normally expect in a cozy. And so I found that to be really interesting, these characters that we were dealing with that were suspects or that our protagonist thought could potentially be a suspect that they were questioning and things like that. So I found the mystery to be rather intriguing, but the theme, I'm sorry to be mean, but it's honestly a poor excuse for a theme. I would much rather just call this the Melanie Cooper or the Melange Cozy Mystery Series rather than calling it the Cupcake Bakery Cozy Mystery Series. But who knows, it may get better with book number 2, but with book number 1, there was like next to no theme. It was maybe like 2% cozy theme and 98% mystery. It was, next to nothing at all. But 4 stars, the mystery was still intriguing, so it got 4 stars. And so to the book that I'm currently reading, which is again another new series for me, and this one comes thanks to my dear friend Sherry recommending it to me. It is the Deputy Donut Cozy Mystery Series by Ginger Bolton, book number 1 being called Survival of the Fritters. And we follow our protagonist, whose name is Emily. Emily works at a donut bakery that is called Deputy Donut, and also she has a cat, meow meow, whose name is also Deputy Donut. He is named Dep for short, but Deputy Donut is his official name, and he is just absolutely lovely, and I love him. How do we explain this one? So, in the donut place, cafe thing that Emily is running, there is a knitting group called the Nitpickers. I love the name of their group, the Nitpicker ladies, the Nitpickers. They meet, I think it's like once a week or something like that. And one of the ladies, one day, she doesn't show up, so all the ladies start getting nervous because she's always there. They go to her home, and of course, as it's a cozy mystery, they find that she has been murdered. And, so we're now trying to solve the mystery. One of the elderly ladies from the Nitpickers ends up moving in next door to Emily, which is great because you all know how much I love my elderly characters in my cozies. So while our main character is not elderly, her neighbor is, and they become good friends. And Deputy Donut has found his own little secret cat way between Emily's house and this neighbor's house. And so Deputy Donut just goes through the secret way to this way and then through the secret way back home. And it's just a really, really, really great book. I'm very much enjoying it. I am currently there, which is 197 pages into this massive paperback height book. So it'd be a lot longer if it was in a mass market paperback. This is a standard paperback that just happens to be very tall. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. The cozy side, the theme, really well done. We're exploring the donuts, which I really do appreciate. I love Deputy Donut, the cat. I love Emily as the amateur sleuth. I love the neighbor. I even love the lead detective. I am loving this book so much so far. At the moment, it's a 5-star read. Time will tell where we go from here. So what is the plan moving forward into next week? Well, obviously you'll know exactly how I feel about the books I plan to read in less than a minute's time. But before I get there, I will of course give you that preview. So I am going to finish off Survival of the Fritters. I'm hoping to finish this tomorrow, but if I don't finish it tomorrow, then it will be on Sunday. And then on Sunday, I'm going to start my final book for March. This one, Letters in the Library, book number 2 in the Inn at Holiday Bay Cozy Mystery Series by Kathy Daly. Cannot wait to get to this book. Book number 1 was a whole lot of setup. I am raring and ready to go with book number 2. I cannot wait. This will end my March TBR. So then, on the 1st of April, I'll be starting Woo! My next coffee house book! I'm so excited! Dead Cold Brew! I don't know what number this is, and quite frankly, I don't care. It's like 16, 17, 18, I don't know. It's something like that. I love this series so much. I am very, very, very excited to get to Dead Cold Brew. Gonna be a lot of fun. And then after that one, the next country store. Cozy, Death Over Easy by Maddie Day. I won't have this book finished by the time you next see me. In 1 minute for you, for me in a week. But I will have started this one. So there you go. I hope that you had an amazing week during the week of whatever it's been, the 21st to the 28th of March. And I hope that you also had an amazing week for the 29th of March to the whatever it is, the 4th of April. I'll tell you how my week was in just a moment. I'll see you then. Thank you so much, past Mr. Francy. I really appreciate your lovely report. The week has gone by and bada bing, bada boom, it's now the 4th of April. So there has been a lot that went on, and I just very quickly want to update you on Wednesday of this past week, which was the 2nd, today being the 4th, so 2 days ago, I had multiple extraction teeth taken out as part of my whole dental plan situation. For those of you who are new, I was born with a congenital tooth disorder known as ameliogenesis imperfecta. Basically, what this means is that I was born without enamel and my teeth were prone to different types of things. We eventually found out that we need to fully extract every single tooth in my mouth and then replace both upper and lower with dentures, and so that's happening at the moment. On the Wednesday just gone by, on the 2nd, the 5 from the back on the bottom of the left-hand side were taken out, and then stitches were applied. So it's been a really interesting recovery since then, and if I sound funny with the way I'm talking, I apologize, but, it is what it is, and I'm still going to sparkle, and, one of the best things about this recovery is it's given me a lot of time to read, so that's a really good thing. But I do apologize if you're struggling to understand me, or if I struggle a little bit while I'm doing these mini reviews. It has not been easy, but I'll have a quick sip of my tea. Ah, so beautiful. Today's tea is really nice. So I'm really getting into tea at the moment, like full on getting into what I call sweet tea. I love my sweet tea. And I found this lovely box that has all different flavors, and the one that I'm having at the moment is that one at the bottom, which is peach and pineapple, and it's really nice. Like, it's a great way to start my day. So, yeah, very nice. Do you like sweet tea as well? Let me know in the comment section below. Alright, catching up. So, I finished Survival of the Fritters by Ginger Bolton, book number 1 in the Deputy Donut Cozy Mystery series, and I gave this a total of 4 stars. I really, really enjoyed my time with this book. The only problem was that I felt the length by the end, so I ended up docking a star for that one, but I really enjoyed my time with Emily Westhill, with her elderly neighbor Lois, with her cat Deputy Donut. I just love him so much. Anytime I'm feeling down or whatever, I just look at this book and it makes me happy. It's like, oh, Deputy Donut! Yes, I chat with the covers of my books. Okay, leave me alone. I'm recovering. But yeah, I had a blast. I love Deputy Donut as a cat. Not every cat in every cozy do I love, but I love Deputy Donut. There just seems to be a little bit of sass to what Deputy Donut does, and I really appreciate that. But 4 stars ultimately for this one. I am continuing on. I do have Goodbye Cruller World, which is book number 2, but I will be reading that in May, not in April. Alright, so that's that one. I then picked up this book, which is Letters in the Library. Oh my goodness, no matter where I go, there's a glare. How rude. Seriously, no matter where I go, there's a glare. Anyway, there you go. Letters in the Library by Kathy Daly, book number 2 in the Inn at Holiday Bay Cozy Mystery Series. And, okay, so here's your quick setup. In this series, we follow Abby Sullivan, who has purchased a mansion that she's trying to convert into a B&B. Oh, well, not a B&B, she's trying to convert it into an inn, but yeah, I kind of say it's the same thing. But anyway, an inn in Holiday Bay, Maine, alongside a cat, Rufus, who adopted her, and her live-in cook, Georgia, and Georgia's dog, Ramos. In book 2, they're still doing everything they can, all the prep work to open up the inn. I wrote B&B. It's tripping me up because it's inn, clearly, not B&B, Mr. Francy. But anyway, yeah, so in book 2, they're still doing everything they can, all the prep work to open up the inn. Also, we're still trying to solve the case from book number 1, but when an unexpected visitor drops into town, Abby begins to realize moving to Holiday Bay is more than it once seemed. So, yeah, my biggest gripe at the moment is that the inn has not opened yet, and I did find out that the inn will open somewhere in book 4. Because of this, I'm going to read book 3 as well as book 4 this month in April, and it's not the next book I'm reading, but the next 2 after that will be those 2 books. So by the time we get to the end of April, the inn would have opened for Mr. Francy, and that one big gripe that I have with this series will be over, because I've gone into this series for the inn. That's why I'm there, and the inn's just not open yet, so I want it to be open. But otherwise, I had a really good time with the series. Yeah, I enjoy my time with Abby and with Georgia, especially when they traveled together. They had this moment where they had to travel interstate quickly for a certain reason, and I really, really enjoyed that. The narrator who narrates this book, I do have a few issues, I have to say, because anytime, I don't know the word, I'm sure there are people out there that are like, Miss Francy, the word is this, that's fine, but you know how when there's a quote, and then you have words like said, or asked, or thought, so it's like, "Hi, how are you?" asked Mary. "Hi, I am good," said Jane. "That's good," replied Mary. You know, those words. Anyway, every time we get to those words, the narrator for this series emphasizes those words, and it does annoy me a little. I'm just trying to not allow it to distract me too much from the book, because instead of saying, "Hi, how are you?" asked Abby, "I'm good, how are you?" said Jane. Instead, we're getting, "Hi, how are you?" asked Abby. "I'm good, how are you?" said Jane. Like, asked, said. And it's just the cadence of the narrator, rather than being subtle with that word, rather than just saying, you know, said Abby, said Mary, said Joanne. It's more like, said Mary, said Jane, said. And I seriously just got to a point where, as much as I'm listening to it and trying to really get into the book, I'm thinking, here we go, where's said, where's said? And of course, you know, the narrator will trip me up by going, asked, fine, asked, said. If you listen to the audio series for this one, let me know if you notice it too. It's just, that's my only gripe. Otherwise, she's fine, the audio narrator, but I've never had someone go upwards in cadence when it comes to saying the word said or asked or anything like that. It's just really weird. But anyway, aside from that, I think the series is a good one so far, and I am definitely continuing on, but I need the inn to be open. So 3 stars for me. I just felt all in all it was an average read, but the mystery... Okay, the mystery was intriguing, but the fact that it was a carryover from book 1, I did not like. I know that there is at least one other cozy series out there where we have an overarching mystery that carries through the entire series. If you can tell me what that series is, please let me know, because I don't think I would enjoy that, because this one just carried over to this book. We find out that the mystery is solved by the end of this book, but the fact that it carried over and we had 2 books dealing with the one mystery, that did annoy me. So if I'm going to have it for an entire series, it might annoy me even more. But anyway, 3 stars for this one, and I'm making up for it. Well, not making up for, but I will have had the inn open by the end of the month by reading books 3 and 4 in April. Okay, so then I started my April TBR by picking up this book, Dead Cold Brew by Cleo Coyle. Book number 16 in the Coffee House Cozy Mystery series, and I gave this book a total of 4 stars. So in this series, we follow Claire Cosi, who runs a cafe, the Village Blend. There was a significant change that came up in the book prior to this one, that came up in book 15. That change reverts back the very next book in book 16. So I had big issues, big complaints at the end of book 14, and I really don't know why, because we just had the change occur for one book, and then we're right back to where we were in this one, which made me so very happy. So Claire runs, as I said, a cafe, the Village Blend, and we get a lot of tidbits and information regarding coffee in this one as well, which I really, really, really love. Alright, so in this one, after everything Claire and her NYPD detective boyfriend have been through, they deserve a little bit of happily ever after, but when Mike's marriage proposal to Claire is steeped in perfection, the celebration of their engagement is not long-lived. First, a grim-faced attorney interrupts their party with a mysterious letter bequeathing a hidden treasure to Claire's daughter. Next, the world-famous jeweler who designed Claire's ring is found poisoned in his shop. Both events appear to be connected to a cold case murder involving a sunken ship, an Italian cruise, a charming jewel thief, and a shocking family secret. With deadly trouble brewing, Claire must track down the clues in some of New York's most secret places before an old vendetta produces fresh corpses. That was a long, premise, but it needed to be. This was very involved. The mystery of this one, there were so many layers to it, so much going on. I did find it really intriguing, but I also find it really hard to succinctly explain on my own, which is why I needed to read it out. I'm not a fan of cold cases in my cozies, but there was something about this one that intrigued me. I love following Claire throughout this series, and watching the growth of her character arc has been a pure joy. I always want more Madame than any of the books give, but that's just me. I think all in all it was a good entry in this amazing series that we call Coffee House, and I am looking forward to reading book number 17. I wish there was a little more coffee info in this one than there was. So in this one, Claire, as far as just the coffee side itself, because we always get a nugget of information about real, actual, true coffee, and in this one, Claire needs to come up with a completely new flavor of coffee for a cruise line, and so towards the end of the book we get a bit of a discussion about the flavor that she came up with, but that's kind of all we got from the realistic coffee side. So that was a bit of a letdown for me, I do need to be honest. And I don't like cold cases, so half a star for each of those complaints deducted, and I gave it 4 stars. But I'm definitely continuing on. It's one of my absolute all-time favorite series, and I cannot wait to get on to the next one. So, my current read is indeedy Death Over Easy by Maddie Day. I don't know if I've got the marker where I'm actually up to, though. No, I don't. I have it on chapter 29. I'm actually up to chapter 31. So, I'm there, which is page 164 out of 272. So yeah, I am flying through this book, and you know what? Oh, there we go. There's a nice little look at it. Death Over Easy. Really, really cute. So yeah, I'm flying through this book, and it's exactly what I need with my recovery right now. I am yet to come across, of all my books I'm currently reading this year, I'm yet to come across a more cozy series than the country store one. So in this one we follow Robbie Jordan, who runs a country store, part country store with items people can buy, and part diner. But also in this one, she has opened up a B&B upstairs in her upstairs living quarters area, and so that adds that to everything, and I love my B&Bs, so that makes me very happy as well. But book opens up with everyone going to a bluegrass festival. Her father, who she didn't really know that well because I think he walked out when she was young from her and her mum, he comes down to stay with Robbie to get to know her better with his woman friend from Italy. They both live over in Italy, which is interesting because this book spoke a lot about Italy and this book speaking a lot about Italy, so I feel like I'm just continuing on with my Italian journey. Bravissimo! It's been a lot of fun. Anyway, so they go to this bluegrass festival, and while they're there, they meet this other Italian person that they hadn't met, whose name is Pia, who is one of the members of one of the bluegrass bands. Pia ends up dead, and so there's a lot of suspicion around who could be the murderer, including potentially her father and her father's new woman. She's very suspicious of the police, so there's suspicion based on her as well. But Robbie is just so kind-hearted and sweet and just loving. I love my Robbie. I love her. She's 85, 90 in my mind, 27 in the book, but I love my old grandma Robbie. And it's the perfect medicine for what I need right now with my recovery, just reading Robbie and reading my coziness. So, I feel like this is going to be done by the end of today, which will have me a full day at least ahead of my reading. So, next up, what am I planning to read next? Well, next up I plan to read this book, Copycat Killing by Sophie Kelly. This is book number 3 in the A Magical Cats Cozy Mystery series. I had a lot of trouble with book number 2. I loved book 1, so I'm really hoping that book 3 goes back to its former shining glory of book number 1. And then we get to the double header that is In at Holiday Bay, book number 3, Message in the Mantle, and In at Holiday Bay, book number 4, Answers in the Attic, and this is the one, book number 4, where they should be opening the inn. So I'm going to get through the rest of the, let's finish doing everything we need to do to get the inn ready with book 3. Let's open the inn with book 4, and then the inn will be open! Woo! So I am looking forward to all of my reads. I am currently only reading cozy mysteries, and it's been an absolute blast. It's been exactly what I have needed. So that is where I am going to leave it for today. I'm going to do my best to get videos out, but if I don't get as many out in the next, week or so, it's purely because of my recovery. Like, I'm in more pain now after talking. So, just please do be mindful of that. Any prayers and well wishes would be really appreciated at this time. It's just a little bit of a struggle. We have a Dutch word for it, which is poor sillepeltje, which means, I'm being a poor little me at the moment. I'm trying to really sparkle, but it just feels weird. I have stitches in my gums and just feels really weird at the moment. So I'm really sorry. It's just weird. But I'm trying to stay positive and sparkle. We are going to sparkle through. That's right. We're all going to sparkle together, aren't we? Yes, we are. All right, everyone. I'm going to let you all go with peace, blessings, and so much love. Please do be kind and love one another and spread your sparkling energy all throughout the world. And until next time, happy reading. Bye, everyone.